Hello lawn mowing people. What I'm going to talk about today is how to mow lawns and get paid on time when you're running your own lawn mowing business. Now, getting paid on time is super important because if you don't get paid on time, you don't have cash flow. And if you don't have cash flow, you don't have a business. So how to mow, go and get paid on time. That's the object of the exercise. Now, one problem that I have a lot of lawn mowing business guys talk to me about is debt collection. And I even heard of a guy that was mowing and he was running 3 months behind. He had people owing him money from 3 months ago and he hadn't even collected it. And he was having major cash flow problems. So you need to keep on top of the people that owe you money. Now, the easiest way to do that is to establish clear payment terms. So tell them from the start what you want. We talk about payment as soon as someone accepts a quote. So the moment they say, yep, go and mow my lawn, we'll tell them exactly how we like to get paid. And one of the biggest problems that we find is letting payments slide while you continue mowing. If someone owes you for 3 or 4 cuts, why on earth would you mow their lawn again? They're not paying you. They're not a good customer. So you need to keep track and don't let those payments slide. Make sure that everybody pays you on time. And if you let a payment slide, the other thing is not only are you not getting paid, but the customer can lose track of where they are with the payments. I had a guy that used to pay late all the time, and one time I went round there and he was late again, but he'd decided that he'd already paid for the mow. He was confused and there was no record because he paid cash. So we went to a debt collection agency and issued a collection notice, and he told the debt collection company that he'd already paid. And so the burden of proof was now on us, and we had none. It's easier just not to let it happen in the first place. This wouldn't have happened if we'd insisted on payment before going ahead with the next mow. It just wouldn't have happened. So one easy way of doing it is to set up an invoicing system. Now, it doesn't have to be anything complicated. There's free software like Zoho that'll do this for you. Now, this is Zoho. You can see here it says pricing free, and you can do invoicing. You can mark things as paid. You can do estimates. People can even pay through a customer portal. So, I mean, this is pretty cool software, and it's free, and you can use it here in New Zealand. You can use it in Australia. So if you don't want to go spending lots of money, I'd suggest that you just run your business using this. So once you've done that, make sure that on your invoices, you clearly state your payment terms on the bottom of every invoice. And another thing is that try and get people to pay you via text. We only use invoicing in our business if a customer requires a GST invoice. We don't really invoice for a domestic lawn unless there's a good reason for doing it. What we do is we text for success, and that's spelled wrong, isn't it? I don't know what the spell check is doing. Anyway, we'll ignore that. I can't. So what happens is when we onboard a new customer, we'll tell them straight away that as soon as the lawn's done, we're going to text them our bank account information, and we tell them that the payment is due straight away. So the other thing is to make your payments easy and convenient. So don't deal in cash. Cash is just a really bad idea. Don't take it unless it's absolutely necessary. And these are some of the disadvantages of taking cash. As I said before when I was talking about that guy, there's no record. There's no paper trail of payments. So if they say they've already paid and you say they haven't, it's your word against theirs. And then there's a chance that the money could get stolen. If someone goes and leaves the money in their letterbox and let's say a stranger takes the money out of the letterbox, who's going to take the hit, you or the customer? Either way, if you take the hit, then you've lost money. If the customer takes the hit, then they'll probably cancel you and get somebody else. So you've lost either way. The other thing about cash is you have to take a trip to the bank because you can't sit at home and deposit the cash that you've been paid into your bank account. It is really important to keep that money running through your bank account because if you want to borrow anything for your business, you've got to show actual turnover. You can't tell them that 10% of the money you earn is cash. The bank's not going to accept that, and they're not going to loan you money to grow your business. if you tell them that half your money is cash, because to them, if they don't see it going through your bank account, then they don't take it into consideration. And it's the same as if you go to buy a house. They'll take whatever you're getting paid in cash is going to be not showing on your turnover. It may be enough not to make you eligible for a loan. So just bear that in mind. Now, sometimes if you're getting cash, a customer will decide that they want to pay you after the job is finished. And what happens then is you end up standing on a customer's doorstep and you're waiting for them to come and give you the money. And that's a complete waste of your time. You'll be better off traveling to the next job. Best thing to do to get paid on time is, one thing, you could offer incentives for early payment, which could be a booking fee, and this booking fee is taken off if they make payment in time, or you could have a late payment fee. And we actually run a late payment fee, and we don't use it very often, but we have used it on occasions. It is on our invoices so people know about it. And when we've used it, we have been paid a late payment fee. So it does actually work. But do be aware that you can't ask for a late payment fee if it's not mentioned on your invoice. The other thing you could do is utilize automated reminders. That software that I showed you before, that'll do automated reminders. So you can actually send people reminders that their payment's overdue. And we do reminders ourselves using texts. If we send someone a text and they say, that they don't appreciate being texted, you can say to them, it's not personal, it's automated. Even if you sent the text and it wasn't automated, you can tell them it was automated. Blame it on the computer. That's what we do. We say, hey, look, the account was overdue, and the text automatically got sent out. We can't do anything about it. The only thing that can be done is if the payment's in there, the text doesn't go. And if they're going to complain that you're sending them automated reminders all of the time and you're sending them texts all of the time, you've got to really seriously consider whether they're a customer worth having. The other thing is that you could offer automated payment options, and this could be things like just setting up an AP or something like that. And if someone struggles to pay on time, then perhaps an AP is the best option for them, and it's a no-brainer really. As long as that you keep on turning up on time, then the AP keeps on going through and you don't even have to think about it. Now, as I said before, one of the things that you really want to do is you want to follow up on late payments promptly. So everybody hates debt collection, so try and avoid going down that road. If someone hasn't made payment, we'll send a text like this. We'll say, hi, Stuart here from Gecko Lawns. Payment hasn't come through on my end for your mow on the state. Could you please check that and get back to me? That's just a nice way of saying, hey, I haven't been paid. And most customers will pay the bill instead of contacting you back, and that suits us fine. And if you think it'll annoy the customer, well, as I said before, if you're sending it so often that it annoys the customer, then is it a customer you really want? Now, the other thing is making that call. If someone owes you money and you can't get any joy out of them, then you need to ring them. Now, if you're going to ring them, don't look like this when you're doing it. What I do is when I ring a customer and they owe money, I'm very nice about it. I say, hi, Stuart here from Gecko Lawns, and then I shut up, because that makes it really awkward for them, because they're going, oh, he's probably rung me because of the money I owe, and you're not saying anything. So the next thing they say is, about this money, this is when I'm going to pay you. And I say, okay, that's fine. And we work out a date when they're going to pay, and I expect to be paid on that date. And that's about the easiest way to do it. When I make these phone calls, I hope that the customer doesn't answer the phone. To be honest, I hate doing it. I go, please don't answer, please don't answer. And if they answer, I just get on with the job. It's just a part of the job that you have to do. Now, the other thing is, you could, if you didn't want to do that, you could use a professional debt collection agency, but they're going to cost you a lot of money. And really, you don't want to get the amount that you're owed to a high enough point where you're going to be bothered doing this. Even if you go through small claims court in New Zealand, you're going to be looking at $50 to open up a dispute. So it's hardly worthwhile doing. So I wouldn't use a debt collection agency unless I was talking about a large amount of money. And so, summing up, when it comes to getting paid, let the customer know it's important from the start. Let them know that you run a tight ship, and the first time they are late, let them know that you mean to get paid on time. Start as you mean to continue. As a general rule of thumb, what I do is I always try and keep the total amount owed to my business under 1 week's worth of income. So if your business is turning over $1,000 a week, then you shouldn't be owed any more than $1,000 in total. And lastly, this is the most important thing. If someone owes you money, don't get stressed about it. Learn to let it flow off you like water off. Learn to let it flow off you like water off a duck's back. You'll have a much happier life just accepting these things happen and moving on. Don't stress about someone owing you $50. It's just not worth it. What we do is if someone owes us money, we'll ask for it a few times and then we'll just give up and let it go. And I'll tell you what, you're a lot happier in the long run because some people just don't have the money. Well, that's about all I'm going to be saying today. So thanks for coming along. And until next time, get out there, mow lawns, have fun, and happy lawn mowing, people.